Alrighty, so welcome back for part 8, act 8 of our PoE walkthrough. So in this part, we're actually going to be going back to the Aspirants Plaza. So if you already have this, you can just click on it, or the alternate method is to just go up over here. Since we're in act 8, we can just go ahead and go to the Aspirants Plaza. Since we have completed, in the last time we played, we actually did the last trial required. So let's go ahead and continue, and just so I can show you guys the tree. Nothing has really changed here since the last time we played, but I'm trying to remember to show you guys this every time. Also in the pinned, there will also be the build over here. But let's go ahead and go on in. So we just click on this, and we've done all of the labs, all of the lab trials. And just like last time, if we die once, that's a rip. And if Zaro hits you, it's pretty much a rip. Any of his attacks. Remember, this thing always changes. Oh, we got an item maybe that dropped. It can maybe be sold. Ooh, that's a Doedries. So this thing is actually pretty good if it rolls good. For early game, it's okay. Let's go ahead and grab that. So what this does... Oh, it actually rolled, got 3 of each. That's a miracle. And even against all 3 of each, it's still really not worth anything. But it gives us 3 endurance charges, 3 frenzy charges, and 3 power charges. But we take 80% of our maximum energy shield and 50% of maximum life as chaos damage on use. We have negative chaos resistance right now. We have negative 30, so activating it will pretty much rip us. Isn't there a second one coming out? Oh, Path of Exile? Yes. The beta comes out for Path of Exile 2. It comes out in 2024. So that's the beta. So the release date could be 2025 at earliest. Maybe. I don't know. If they have beta in March, possible release in November, right? That's like a popular game time. But yeah, we have no confirmation on release date. I'll go ahead and throw these down. The artillery ballistas.
Make your mark. Such resilience.
Very easy. Just make sure we don't get hit by him. Good. We download the PoE on PS5. Oh yes, the new league comes out on the 13th for console. Yes. So what you can do while you're waiting, you have some options. Oh, also since we have dash, we can just dash through this. It's totally cheap, but it works. We just skipped out on that puzzle. You can also use a skill called Blink Arrow, and that can also let you skip out on a lot of the puzzles. But what you can do while you're waiting for the PoE League is, the day before, I would go into PoE.ninja and look at what all the top builds are that people are playing. Also, be very careful on clicking on these, because these, if they are unidentified, they could freeze you instantly, or they can explode corpses, and you open up the barrel or whatever it is, and you're just dead. So be very cautious. I've had that happen before. Is there a wall, or there's a certain item over here? What is it? Something dropped? Oh, a vault orb. So basically, I think as right now, they're worth like half of a chaos orb. Let's see where we're at right now. So we're here, and we'll see where this leads us. So this led us up here, and I want to go and progress into the next Aspirant's Trial. So we're going to actually go back this way and find out where the actual exit is. There might be a secret here. Is there a secret? Oh, there's definitely, it looks like there's got to be a secret. Oh, there's a switch. Yeah, there's lots of secrets in these, and it's always worth it if you find it to grab it. So we just got, ooh, 100% crit. Now, unfortunately, what we could do, do I have a refund? I do have a refund. If I wanted to refund this, I could, and this makes it so our crits will actually do damage. Because right now, this shrine does nothing for us, because we have gotten that thing that makes it so we never deal crit damage, but we just get 48% more damage. Oh, there's another switch over here. Oh, there's 2. Hidden copper. Okay. If I wanted to, I could unspec out of it, but it's kind of a waste. Yes. Oh, let's see what we got. Not exactly the greatest rewards, but hey, better than nothing. Oh. Watch out for that thing. And since we are level 50, we could look into getting an Immortal Flesh for like 1 Chaos Orb if I wanted to. It's fine, you know, I'm just going to go through this area. Sometimes it's worth it just to go and find out where the other entrance is. Sometimes if there's like a very hard like set of traps, I will go on an alternate route, and it's worth it to go on the alternate route. And in this next labyrinth, we're going to be getting a huge amount of extra attack speed, as well as movement speed. And then later, eventually, we're going to get Onslaught, and all of this is going to get, whew, it's kind of a rough one. If we have to go through spike traps. I just don't really like spike traps. Okay, cool. That was actually pretty easy. We got really lucky, and it's just a really short one.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor.
And if you ever need your flasks, you can go back to refill them.
To entertain the sovereign who powers the scepter, not the other way round. Claw your way to the top.
Yeah, I gotta make sure we don't get hit by him. If he hits you at all, and you're like maybe 80% life, activate your potion. Is worth it, because any hit by him is very dangerous as any evasion character, because he hits really hard for physical damage.
What ambition.
And we just don't have physical reduction. Is that a 5 link? No, it's a 4. It's 5 socket. Can I share my druid build? Oh, actually I already have my druid build finished, and I already have all the gameplay ready. I will drop a druid build very soon. Thank you for reminding me, because I was kind of wondering what I want to upload for Diablo. Because like I was really hoping to play a lot more of the new Abattoir of Zir, but it just didn't pique my interest, and a lot of content creators kind of share the same feelings with it. It needs to be more rewarding. At the moment, you get really nothing from it, except for Glyph XP, which is something you could have already gotten. So hopefully they can make some adjustments to it. But I don't know if they will. They acted very fast, though, and that's a good thing. So this one we're going to go back. Although there was a shrine in here. Now, shrines generally, if you activate them, they go away if you go to the next area. We're going to grab this. This is going to make us bigger. So we get, for 40 seconds, increased life, area of effect, and our character actually grows in size. We're going to skip out on grabbing the key, though. If possible. There we go. And domain crossing. As far as Druid goes, I think the only realistic build for most people is to play Pulverize. Is 2 out yet? Path of Exile 2? No, it's not out yet. I wish, man. If Path of Exile 2 is out, I'd probably be playing it. I say probably because,
aspirant can afford to,
you know, honestly, PoE 1 might be more up my alley.
Must keep those promises.
They're changing a lot in PoE 2. It might not be a Zoom game, and I really like playing Zoom.
Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Alright, so this fight is going to be a lot more difficult because of all these traps. So gotta watch out for spikes that will come out over there. A lot less area to work with. Ooh. Ooh, that was very dangerous. Ooh, we're slowed down. Okay. Hopefully the turrets will get them. Because we're kind of stuck getting hit by these other things. Okay.
Tyranny is inescapable.
Let's see, did we get anything maybe possibly good?
That would only slow me down.
Let's see what this item is. What's our current armor? Oh, that's probably not going to be able to beat that. It's like next to impossible. We can get a pretty nice upgrade at level like 63 or something like that. We get a Dureso's Defiance. So we have 2 keys to open up stuff. We got a 2-stone ring, and that's basically it. Another 2-stone ring. Another 2-stone ring. And let's see what we got on these. Ideally, it would actually be a white one. I could scour it and make it a white one, but is it worth it? No. A blue one is probably not going to be worth anything. So what do we get here? We have some damage. And ideally, we're looking for resistances as well as life on rings right now. Later, things will change. We have a font. We can transfer our skill gem to be a random transfigured gem of the same color. We can sacrifice a gem for treasure keys. Or we can sacrifice our gem for currency items. Say less with that. currency items. I don't know if it ties it to its level, but I want some currency. What are you going to give me? Oh, what did it give us? Okay, that was not worth it. Well, it's random what you're getting, obviously. There's probably not gonna be a 100% chance to get some divine orbs, but we have already opened up our treasure chest, and we're gonna go and touch that, the altar of Ascendency, and we're gonna be getting Gathering Winds. This is gonna give us what's called Tailwind. Tailwind increases our action speed. So, how it works is you will see when we use our skills now. On the top, you're gonna see these Tailwind, and this is how many gale forces we have. As long as we keep on just doing stuff, it's going to give us that, and it's going to increase our action speed, which multiplies itself off of all of our attack speed, movement speed. It's basically every thing that you do. It's also like totem placement speed. Pretty much, it's whatever your character does. It's like one of the best things in the game. So now that we've completed the lab, let's go ahead and actually start now with Act 8. So starting off with Act 8, we're going to be actually going towards here. We're going to go ahead and talk to the NPCs real quick. Get them out of the way. But very smooth process. Now we're going to be going even faster. Some of the boss fights in PoE are insane. I think the boss fights are pretty good in PoE. Most of them are relatively fair. I feel like Maven's the only one where if I was the game creators, I would do like a kind of a redo on that one. It's just a memory game. It's just a little bit still too much. Ooh, I level up. Oh, let's grab these essences. These are always nice to get. Up until you pretty much get towards the end game, I like getting essences, because if I get any other 2 stone rings, I can throw the essences on. You'll see that there's like this little green puddle. Don't stand in it, ideally, if you can avoid it. Let's keep on going. So we're looking for a boss in here. Got Doedri's Cesspool. That's what we're looking for. We have another skill point. We have one last little health node to grab. Bam, it's done. So what we got doesn't actually increase our... in theory, it actually gives us DPS, but the numbers aren't going to be higher. Just we can attack faster and move faster, and these are all great in Path of Exile. So if you ever hold still, with it, like any build in Path of Exile, the build becomes incredibly squishy. That's why I really like it in the Mirage Archer. It encourages you to play better. There we go, we finally found the exit. So what you're looking for is this loose gate from Doedri's Cesspool, and then now we get to fight a boss. What game is this? Oh, the name of this game, Blaze, is called Path of Exile. And also, if you guys are watching this over on Twitch, the drops are enabled, so make sure you guys connect to your account so you get a free Ice Tiger. And that will be up until the 15th if you guys want to get it. It's a free Ice Tiger. So how this boss works is you're going to be building up all these stacks, and it's going to make you take more damage. And if you want to clear the stacks, you can actually hit the valve, and it'll clear the stacks. But it's going to kind of like reset the boss. That doesn't reset their HP to full, but it's usually better just to kill them because we have so much damage. Oh, geez, that's a lot of damage we took over there.
You were your own worst enemy, Doedri.
Let's see.
But I suppose it's me now.
I don't think we're gonna ever get a better bow compared to this. Oh, we need to awaken PoE trade up. So let's scan my items and find out what the actual DPS. 184 versus 613. That's quick maths. It's not as good. Alright, so now we're going to go get a crafting recipe. So in this area, you actually can exit 2 different ways. I like to go the left side first. Doesn't really matter, though. They're pretty much the same. So from here, we're going to be going towards the bathhouse. The bathhouse is going to be kind of like a main hub area in this area for this act. So in Act 8, we are basically looking for these two. We're looking for like the sun orb and the moon orb. And then there's the sun and moon boss that we got to battle at the very end. Go up here. There we go. Yeah, this tailwind is so awesome. More attack speed, more movement speed, cast speed, everything. And hopefully eventually we'll be able to get that tincture thing, but it requires us to spawn in a random boss, and we haven't opened up one of the things yet. And I guess I'll open it up to see how common is it to maybe spawn in a boss. Because as far as like the league mechanic, I think it's worth doing for sure in the very beginning, so you can get the free extra like armor or what did we get on our character? We had the 30% movement speed. That was definitely worth it. Definitely. So this area you don't need the waypoint. We didn't get it. It's fine. The bathhouse you definitely want the waypoint. That's an important one over here. So grab the waypoint. You can't really miss out on. Let's go do this just to see if it's worth it. Because if it's a new league, I'm trying to give you guys feedback if it's worth doing certain things. So what we're looking for is specifically these trees. 3 sacred trees, which is basically the boss. You've defeated one, but I defeated that one before we even got the quest to defeat them. And we only had one spawn, maybe like... How many have we done? Maybe 20? I don't know what the exact spawn rate is. Usually these would increase as you go up. Is this a King in the Mist? Okay. Oh, this is a boss. This one might be a quest objective. I haven't fought him yet, so I don't know what his like mechanics are. I think we can kill him. Stop moving, or we're gonna get imprisoned. Okay, so we have to hold still. See, I'm learning the mechanics as we're going along. What's this? Oh.
And the face has grew. Oil be your bane.
Gotta make sure we don't have that debuff. Oh shoot, we're gonna get imprisoned. I don't know what imprisoned means. I don't know if that means we take damage or if that means that we instantly fail. Okay, we're good now. Wonder if he counts as a corrupted tree or a sacred tree. Ooh, I think we got him. Oh no, that was someone else. Woo! Something did a big degen on the ground. Okay, we're gonna be careful here. Oh, we got a ritual vessel. What else do we get? Oh, some boots, but let's see, what item level are these? 59? Okay. No movement speed. No movement speed. And then we got
I'm not up to that just yet.
what's this? It's probably about like okay damage. 300 is not too bad, but like obviously our current one's much better. That did not count. Okay. But maybe the ratio for the bosses maybe like is like 1 out of 10. Oh, we didn't even get to like use our currency, right? Alright, well. So there's several areas in this bathhouse that we need to go to. Although we can find out what the ritual vessels were too. 1 chaos. It's not bad. So in here, we actually have so many things. So one of these has like an objective that is optional. But you'll usually find it because you need so much. We'll go ahead and kill him. It's Hector. He drops like a hand or something. Or like the wings. So the wings of the hand that he drops. Okay, the wings. Okay. So you get this and you can get a small little reward. Doesn't really matter though. It's an optional one. So in this area, we have 3 objectives. One objective is to get to the new area. The other objective is to do the Trial of Ascendency. So the first thing we're doing, Trial of Ascendency, because we happen to see it first. We have to hit these levers. take these slow. I'm taking it fast because I've played this game so much.
Allow your wisdom.
I feel like I'm confident that we have so much movement speed though. You know what? If you're feeling daring, go for it. So we have 3 more, and then we get to do the next trial of Ascendency, which will be much harder. The final one is the hardest, and the final one can be farmed as a form of endgame content. Well, it used to be, because you can get like these special modifiers for some of these skills in the game. But now you get these alternate gems, so it still is probably worth it. So we just did one of the things, which was the Trial of Ascendency. The other thing is a boss. So if you go into this area, we're going to be doing the Reflection of Terror. This is another boss. I think I'm going to go try to just push through the rest of the game. Now, instead of doing those little underground things for the League mechanic, because I'm guessing it's a 1 out of 10 spawn chance. And then it's also maybe even less than that, because you have all the different colors too. You have the purple, is it purple, blue, and yellow? And I need the yellow one to spawn into special mechanic. And the yellow special mechanic, it may go up as you progress in your level. So yeah. Wanna do some D4 today? Maybe. Depends how burnt out I get of PoE. Or if the PoE servers do go down,
I'm not up for that just yet.
then you could. Is D4 hotfixed? Oh yes, the update is out for D4, for sure. Does it always show your tracing in the minimap? Oh, like this? You can turn it off. If you want. I'm not gonna even bother with that one. That one had spikes on death. I'm good. Those things already like pop on death. Alright, so we defeat Yugioh now. He's gonna give us a skill point. Yeah, look how easy this boss is compared to the last boss that we fought for the underground affliction. So you fight this guy for a little bit, then he goes inside the little puddles to kind of hide, and then you get to fight him again.
My mana is gone.
Ooh, someone's doing damage. Reset my golem. He's getting a little low on HP. Alright, and we got him. He's gone. So now after we get him, we can go back to town. We can also open up the Pantheon. I'm going to go do this. I'll move my face out of the way so you guys can see what we're selecting. So there are some major and minor gods. So this one over here, Brine King, is the one I actually like to get the most. Eventually we're going to get this special ability so we cannot ever be frozen, which is way better. I'm going to select Aura Calling now because this one makes it so you can't be stunned. And I'd rather have like the reduced damage taken over time for now. Eventually we're going to swap to that one. And then as far as the other ones go, really you can get whatever you want. I think this one's okay. It's better for bosses. Just gives you extra flash charges. Honestly, with the small one, it doesn't matter too much. I like to get either... There's one that reduces shock. Is that the one that we need to get next? That one's okay. To get the bottom one, whatever. This one I think is fine. You get extra life recovery when you use it on low life, so it can kind of help out. But now we have a lot of options. Do I want to get some more defenses? I can get some extra armor and evasion. I can get some extra damage. There's also this leech over here. This could be okay. I noticed in some of the boss fights we were kind of running a little bit lower on the mana. But there's also this spell suppression mastery, which I think could be great as well. It'll really help out with survivability. So it's kind of up to what your gear rolled. None of our gear will be exactly the same. So if you want more damage, that's an option too. I think this one's really good. It gives you massive amounts of extra damage. So this is where it gets a little bit flexible. But if you just want to copy exactly, and I think this is totally a fine option. I think we can get a little bit more damage. I think getting this one would be kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 points over here. Get the extra penetration. We can kind of get a feel for it, and we'll see where it goes. So now we're going to go back after we get our skill point. We're going to have to take this to Hargan. Is that a ring with a socket? Nice. And then this is what we actually wanted.
You found.
So I want the other reward. There we go. Skill point. Alright, so now we have another skill point. And we're going to put it in here. Get the extra penetration. So now it's telling us to find the sun orb. We're going to find the sun and the moon orb. So now what we're going to do, we're going to teleport back to the bathhouse. So you have to tap to get the balls going, right? Wait. You can hold down the skill if we're talking about in Diablo. Yeah, controller is actually superior in a lot of situations in that game. Oh, thanks, Blanket. I appreciate it. So now we're going from the bathhouse to Lunar's Concourse. So we got a lot of stuff done in that area. We got the Plus quest. We got the Trial of Ascendency done. And as far as this waypoint goes, you don't have to really get it. It's kind of optional. This one's rings as reward, so it doesn't really matter that much. Penitent Greaves gives you 100% uptime with crowd control. Not on bosses, because it has to build up. We got a boss over here, so we can go and get him down. This one's optional to kill, but we'll go ahead and see if we get anything good off of it. Coming to the exit. I'm not going to worry about getting all the rewards. Let's go ahead and go next. 2 stone ring, maybe the amulet. See if we got any upgrades. But yeah, none of the normal mobs, yeah. You will get the chill effect, which slows them down. Damage recuperator's life is kind of nice, but it has 55 life too. If I had just had some resistances, but I think we need both of these. Oh yeah, because that will brick my gear if I swap off of this. But this thing isn't really good. It just gives us extra lightning res, but I need it for my extra stats. Okay. None of those were particularly good. Danig. So Danig will give you resources from all of the... he lets you trade resources. So he's part of the expedition one, and we can go ahead and do it. Can't leech. Oh, that's not good. So I'm not going to do that one. So let's go do that. Oh, I didn't even know we started one of those. So I guess we started at Delirium too. We're just going to go ahead and kill these. These are random if it spawns in for you, but... oh, that wasn't even that bad. Okay, so now we can talk to him. It's fine. I'm just going to end the delirium so I can actually talk to him. So how he works is you can exchange items of one currency for another. So if I wanted to get certain currencies, move my face out of the way. So if there's certain currencies that you want, like the exotic coinage lets me reroll Tujen's items. It's another thing that if you want to do, you can engage with, but let's see this. So these are called cluster jewels. These are the bigger jewels, and you put them on the large jewel sockets, and then it can extend your skill tree, giving you skills that it gives you. Like this one gives you Battle Harden, which is a passive skill. Some of them get a little bit more crazy, but this one's not bad at all. Evasion and extra damage. Most builds can definitely benefit off of cluster jewels, but I try not to include them in any of my builds because some people get overwhelmed when they see them. But it's really not that big of a deal. It just increases your stuff. But the skills that it grant you, like the passive skills, are random. But certain ones can only roll certain like attack ones or minion ones. The minion ones It used to be very, very expensive early on. A lot of items in this game, the first like week, they'll sell for like, I'm not even kidding, 100 times more. But after a week, the prices on items, if it's not like the best in slot, they'll just start going down and down in price. And the reason why is because people will start getting, you know, the mid-tier gear, and then they'll use them basically as hand-me-downs. And so the not so good items get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. But some of the best items, they can go up in value. So what we're doing at the Lunar's Temple, we're just going to level 2, and we're eventually going to get a moon orb, and we're going to combine it with the sun orb to get the access to the new area. Oh, something was really tanky in here. What was that? Our golem died, so gotta resummon our guy. Also, since I mentioned Twitch drops, Ron, if you guys want to access your pets, I don't know what the default key is, but it's in somewhere in the menu. I don't know what the default key is. I think I set mine to N. But, let me go clear this out. So if you want to access your pets, because if you guys watch the Twitch stream, you can get these free pets. And if you want to activate any of these skins, all you have to do is you just hit equip. I have a bunch of different skins. And I got a lot of them for free. A lot of these you'll get from just playing the game. They have new leagues every single season. Sometimes there's Twitch drops, and that's how I have a bunch of these different skins. But yeah, these are all like free cosmetic skins. Well, I mean, you probably won't have the exact same ones I have, but that is because I've been playing the game. But you can throw on different helmets, and let's go ahead and equip that one. We can equip the different helmets, and it doesn't give your character any like extra bonus damage or anything. It's just skins. But that's how you actually use your skin. Let's go ahead and continue. What build are we running? So we're playing Lightning Arrow now, and eventually we are going to be playing Ice Shot with Mana Forged Arrow on Lightning. Or I could go with a Tincture, so I can apply Shock, but I usually run... It's like some other support gem that makes your lightning damage count as like 10 times the amount. But it doesn't actually deal 10 times the amount of damage. It's just the damage that you deal is treated as a shock value of a huge amount. So basically we get Mana Forged Arrows, and we'll have a setup with that towards the end of the game. But right now, I cannot put anything in my boots. What I would put in is a mark on hit support with Sniper's Mark. I'm like frozen or something, I can't move. You ideally want to get a potion at some point that gives you immunity to freeze. I might just rip to this guy, because I can't even move. That guy was tough.
My mana is gone.
Ooh, he dropped some damage over time right before he ripped, too. Looking for the boss in the area. I think we're coming up to it really soon. I'll notice it because you see these kind of like elevated areas. Yep, there we go. Right. Actually look at getting a little bit more resistance on the tree after we get the extra like penetration, which is actually a pretty good source of damage. Now we'll get this, and this will be... It's usually more helpful on bosses to get the extra penetration. But yeah, we want to get the moon orb. Oh, dang, we got too much stuff. Alright, we got to make some room for the moon orb. There we go. So now we're going to go... There's a crafting recipe over here. So go ahead and do this. And in the other side, there's going to be 2 main objectives to grab. So let me go and clean up our inventory a little bit.
Don't drink the water.
Okay, so let's go sell items, and let's get rid of some junk that we have. Oh, this is actually a pretty good ring. Wow. It's a really good ring.
Stay out of the shadows.
If we could only use it. Unfortunately, it requires us to have extra... What does it require? If you ever have an item that bricks, you can mouse over and I'll tell you, well, we need more intelligence. So if I wanted to, do we have a point? No, we'll have a point next level. And we could just put in, it's totally okay to put 1 point into like the plus strength and plus, if like you need it for your pieces of gear. And you can remove them later, you can get them somewhere else. But a lot of times earlier in the game, it is definitely worth it to grab those because just getting that extra gear swap like this would be pretty awesome. It's going to give us 61 life. And that's really the only difference, I think, right? This one gives us int as well. And that's why I need this item. But yeah, I would much rather grab that. So next level, we're going to grab the 30 int just for that item. And then I'm going to keep this Doedri's potion. It's actually pretty good, but let me show you exactly what it does. It's actually dangerous right now to use it, but I'm going to use it for fun right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up our inventory. Let me just go into another tab. So this is what's referred to as a dump tab. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get all my items and just throw them in. Well, right now I have what's called the currency tab. It's going to throw them all in there. But you'll see that a bunch of the other items are just going in here. And the reason why the other ones get absorbed is because I have it set up so certain items get absorbed right into a certain tab. And you can change them if you have selected on the tab, you can right click on it and do what's called a affinity, and it can absorb whatever thing that you're going for. So you can make a tab specific for whatever you want to go for. And then now our inventory is nice and clean. Okay, so let's continue now. And it's still telling us we have a
You
reward
looking
here.
sharp?
So which one do we want?
Bring me back.
Probably not going to matter, but let's see what it gave us. Increased cold damage. Okay.
Watch yourself.
All right. So now we are going to be going towards the other side. So we already have the moon egg. And now we're going to try to get the sun egg. You're running a lightning shot, then you're going to be changing to tornado. Ah, good choice. Yeah, lightning arrow is just so good in the very beginning. I saw like a lot of other people playing it. So I was browsing since I need to get my Twitch drops too. I want the free ice, the ice tiger, you know. So now we're going to go to the other side. So the sewers is kind of like the early area that splits off into two, and there are several quests here. So in the Quay, this is one of the areas that is very large. We're going to be looking for the Ankh of Eternity here. So I'm going to show you what happens if I pop this potion. It's going to make me take a lot of damage, but it's going to give me these frenzy charges, these power charges, and these endurance charges. So each one of the different charges gives us a different thing. I'm going to ignore this because it's kind of RNG if you guys get this, and it's not really important. I have to be careful when we activate that. I probably should put it on this so I can activate it at the same time by hitting like 1 and 2. Oh, we found the sealed chest real easy. So we found the ankh. Sometimes it can take like a couple minutes to find the ankh. We got kind of lucky. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the area where we're going to find like this little side area called the Resurrection Site. But the reason why we take a bunch of damage when we pop that thing is we take a lot of damage because we have negative chaos resistance. Eventually we're going to get maximum chaos resistance. But it is kind of risky to activate it, obviously, but it does give you a huge advantage. So the power charges will give you more crit. It's 40% more crit per power charge, and it gives you 3. Which doesn't actually equal 100, it's based off your weapon, so 40% of whatever 5 is, right? So we get like 2% crit per, so we get like a total of 6, something like that. So we don't want to go to the Grain Gate. We want to look for specifically the Resurrection Site. The Grain Gate we'll eventually go to. That's a little like other side area. It's probably in this direction. But yeah, this item is very risky to use. I usually like getting it at some point because it's really good for damage, but obviously, yeah, it has that huge downside. Anyways, going back to all the different charges, because I only explained 2 of them. Alright, I only explained the power charge. The endurance charge gives you extra elemental and physical damage reduction. I think it's like 4% per. So we give 12% elemental. I think it gives you resistance. Dang, did we not find it? Oh, it could be over here. Yeah, this is one of the more annoying quests in the game. Oh, we got a 6-socket item, so we can convert that. Really? Oh, is it right there? This is why I hate this area. I'm going to go check out these areas so I don't have to double back in case it is over here. But usually it's not going to be this close. Okay, it's probably not in that direction. But I think it's going to be in that small little sliver over there. But yeah, you have to find the ankh, and then you have to find the grain gate, and you also have to find the resurrection site. So this area, the Quay, is kind of like the hub of the second part of this act. But yeah, you see this little sliver? Yep, that's where it was. That's why I don't like this area. Yep, there it is. Sometimes you have to walk across these little like boats, and it's just really hard to see. So you take the ankh that we got out of the chest, you give it to her, and this is the girl that made you save her husband in one of the quests, and we gotta get him. Fight him, and he's not anything special. He's kind of one of those like elites that you can face draw. Okay, and she says thank you, and then in town she will reward you with a skill point. Now we're gonna go to the grain gate, and this is where we get. Ooh, yeah, maybe I should remove that potion. I almost thought we were gonna rip over there, so yeah, it's not very good to grab. On top of that, I think our inventory is good. I was gonna say our inventory needs to be reworked. And so our gems leveled up. Always level up your gems. Honestly, these waypoints don't really matter. Alright, so now we're going to look for another boss in this area. And this boss is for a quest called the Gemling Legion. It's going to give us another skill point. You'll see, yeah. Like, where's the boss? There it is. Okay. It doesn't even seem like a boss. We just absolutely rolled it. There's so many times where I'm like, oh, I was looking for the boss and like I accidentally like one-shotted it and I just didn't notice. But I'm gonna go grab these 2 quest rewards, which are 2 skill points. And then we can swap to that one of those rings and get an extra set of life. She's gonna give us a reward.
Watch yourself.
And this one's going to give us another reward. Boom, boom. We're going to grab the extra intelligence here. So I have no problem running this ring, which will give us extra survivability. And if I want to get more life, we can just type in the word life. And there are a few different routes that we can take here. So going up here is great. I eventually do want to get this extra arrow. I think it would be great. Also getting this extra chain is good, but I have no chain. What you can do temporarily, and I think it's like an okay option to get Pierce. A lot of times people don't want Pierce because what Pierce does is, well, it lets you go through the targets. For now, I mean, for clear speed, usually another projectile is better in most circumstances. But I really do kind of want chain. And the reason why you don't want Pierce later is because it's going to pierce then chain, and you would rather have it auto-target the next target, and the way it works is one target's not going to get hit twice by Pierce, but one target can get hit twice by chain if it's certain skills, if they can shotgun. There's a lot of like if certain things. So getting a trick shot is actually a pretty good thing to have as well. And there's another thing called forking, but there's no like free fork. That's where the projectiles go in other directions as well. They're all pretty good stuff if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't worry really too much about it now. I think I want to get, let's see if we have any other good HP mods. So this one's kind of like a wasted stat, but it's going to give us extra life, extra spell suppression. It's like 2 wasted stats, but then the rest are actually pretty solid. And as you're pathing in Path of Exile, a lot of times there's going to be some like worthless stat one. It's normal for this game. But what I do want to path for is I wouldn't mind getting this extra HP here. And it's like the only other source of getting more HP without going like too far into this side. And we can also get more spell suppression. Pretty much every single piece of gear eventually will be something that gives us HP. We can also think about getting these jewel slots, but these are going to be something where we're going to have to buy an item. We're going to have to trade for a jewel that has specifically plus to life, plus damage. There's a lot of really good stuff that you can get. In fact, I don't know if it still exists, but there's like a lightning jewel that just gives you a massive amount of lightning damage. It's a unique gem. I'll look it up after, and you're gonna have to put a bunch of points into like just wasted stats, which is plus dex, which it'll cost a decent amount of stat points. I think it's just better. We're just gonna get this HP now, and then later we will get some extra stuff. But yeah, let's just path over here for now. Later we can do some respecking, but I want to get the jewel sockets later because they just cost. We're gonna have to get more chaos orbs basically. Comparing P-Wood to D4, what is your favorite? My least favorite? Okay, about each one. Path of Exile, the creativity, way better. Diablo, the ease of playing the game. I forgot to go grab another potion because we just swapped. And I'm gonna grab another like Quicksilver flask. And also, I think we can convert some potions now. Like I've had these for a while. So, for example, like this one has reduced shock duration. So what we could do is we could add another mod to it. So I can use a Org of Augmentation, and then now we get two abilities on it. Now, are these two abilities that great? This is mediocre because we're not going to get hit that much. So gaining a charge when we're getting hit, okay. Increase armor, reduce charges. That's much better. This, whatever. This is like a whatever. I'd rather get an onslaught flask. This whenever we have increased attack speed, let's get something else on it too. Reduce charges per use. That's great. Now let's grab another flask. I don't know where we had another one. So if I hold Alt, I can see the item level, and certain mods will not roll on a low item level. So I'm going to go ahead and now mod this one. So I'm going to go transmute it. We have less duration, but immunity to poison. I don't want less duration. Immune to freeze and chill. Hey, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. I just wanted one of them to have it. Cool. Worked out. If you get any 6-socketed items, it's excellent.
What do you want?
Because you can go ahead and
Stay out of the
get
shed.
some extra jeweler's orbs, because we're going to need hundreds of these later. We're going to trade with other players, but let's go back to the Grain Gate, finish it off, and the next step is to get the other egg.
I'm not up to that just yet.
And we'll be done. It's going to be a relatively shorter act. It's just a little bit longer in the duration because we do the lab. It takes like 10-15 minutes to do to get our upgrade. It's a little bit dry over here. But anyways, going back to your question about what's my favorite thing. So I like Path of Exile's creativity. For Diablo, I like the game's graphics. It's a newer game. Path of Exile is 2012, so. But with Diablo, I can build like every single class in a season, and I can play like everything. Whereas Path of Exile, I don't think it's possible to build every single thing in the game, ever. Like in Diablo 3, I have played literally every single set build in the entire game. I've played pretty much every single like build that you can play. Like in Diablo, my goal right now is to finish the Druid. Like I've played every single build, like every core skill, I've played them all. I've gotten every unique except for the Grandfather, and that you don't need that to play any specific build. But like any like the Speaker's Wrath, Flame Scar, any of the even the meme builds like Inferno, I've played them all. But with Path of Exile, it's like impossible to play all the combinations. What I have done before in Path of Exile is I sat down and tried out every single skill in the game, but I haven't min-maxed a build around every single skill because it's gonna take a long time. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Forgoy. The Witch, yeah, I probably played something like what's it called? A Summoner build. I had to turn off my heater, it's getting a little too warm, too toasty. But let's continue, and we got another skill point, and we were working towards getting even more HP. And this is giving us life and energy shield per kill. Oops. And then there's also this node over here, which gives us increased dexterity, which is good, increased movement speed. Chaos damage doesn't really matter for us. I don't know if we have anything that even gives us chaos damage at the moment. We're almost done with this act. We'll get another arrow after getting just a little bit more HP. But, you know, I'll be honest, I think the clear speed is already pretty good. But eventually we're going to always have at least 3 arrows. We get, in my build, I like to get 5 arrows at least. We can increase it if you want, but it's honestly not super necessary. Oh, that's going to pop. I'm going to move out of the way. And the last 2 acts are actually quite short. So, Solaris Temple. I'm new to PoE. Is Lightning Witch powerful? Everything is powerful as long as you put time into it. Like literally anything in the game. You can run no weapon. It's called an unarmed build. You can make it, man. That's the beauty with Path of Exile. You can have the craziest creativity in the game. There's builds where like it wants you to have no gloves equipped and you get really insane damage. It's like the is that called Iron Fist? Iron Palm, I think is what it's called. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do in this game. But like other games, there's just nothing. That's what I love with this game. But the first thing I like to do is, on a league start, and this is a great league starter, is you play, you get currency, because some of like the crazier builds like Iron Palm, you can't just play instantly because you have to get the special item. And the special item to enable that build may be a little bit rare, so you're going to have to basically fund your other characters, if that makes sense. So now we got the Moon Orb, we got the Sun Orb, we have to go back to either, we're going to go to the Lunaris Concourse over here. We can go to Lunaris Concourse or Solaris Concourse. And there's basically a center area that they meet up in. So from the Lunaris, it's going to be down and to the right. From the Solaris, it's going to be down and to the left in most circumstances. And then we go to the Harbor Bridge. And this is where, like, if I open up this is actually kind of an important thing. So how it works is this map is, the Lunaris is this side, the Solaris is this side, and that was the bathhouse side, and that was the side with the little, like, the boats, whatever that said I really hated. So basically it meets up in the middle. You do both this quest, and then you get both orbs. You meet in the middle, and then you go continue on. That's kind of how the story works, but we haven't really been listening to it. Am I excited for PoE 2? Hell yes, Neppy. And the thing that makes me most excited about PoE 2 versus like a new game, right? Like, for example, there's a new God of War DLC come out. I already know what to expect, right? There's going to be like, you know, you're going to be playing as Kratos and you're going to kill things. And, you know, I expect maybe some cool puzzles. But with Path of Exile, I could be blown away. And what they did that blew me away so far with action RPGs is they're really allowing you to swap every single skill that you have. You can swap a weapon. And that's going to encourage, like, I play a game called Devil May Cry that I really like, and I really like the whole idea of weapon swapping. But anyways, this is Solaris and Lunaris. This is the final boss of this act. It's a really cool looking fight, but it's kind of like most of the bosses. You shoot, you move, you shoot, you move. One of them has a laser, just get behind it. But there's 2 bosses here. But this build is so good, it might not really matter. Woo. Took some damage over there. Woo. Let's grab that. Ooh, a quiver. Ideally, I want to find a quiver if we can. And once it's dead, you don't have to wait for the animation. But you go to the next. Go to Blood Aqueduct. This is one of the best places to level in the game. But we're already level 62. Yeah, okay. This is technically the next act. You know what? I'm going to do this one real quick. So we're going to see, since we're in Act 9, I want to see, is this worth doing? So we can find those trees, because I haven't found one. And I don't know if these are super rare. We defeated one tree, and I want to say that that was probably what we were looking for. Is this one of the trees? Evan Shrek? Kind of looks like a tree. I don't know if this counts. If this counts, then, you know, this would be great. Do you count? I don't know if it's like a special, like, instance where we get to fight all of them at once. Oh, we have a bunch of items. Okay. These guys are way tankier. What level is this? 61? Okay. Awesome. Ooh, 1 Chaos Orb. Nice. So all we need to do to get the next upgrade that I do want to get on this part of our PlayStation is Duresto's Defiance. It's basically going to give us much more HP. We're going to have a little bit lower movement speed, but it's going to give us a little more HP, and on top of getting more HP, it's going to also grant us a bunch of armor, which is going to be great for our character because we have this little, like, warden thing. And I've built this character to be relatively tanky. Later we'll get way more damage because the damage is pretty good. If the boss fight takes us an extra 5-10 seconds, but we have way more tankiness, I think it's worth it. So with the Blood Aqueduct to get into the next act, we're just going to keep on going up. I love getting so much speed early on. It makes the game feel so much better. This is one of the primal empowered ones. Yep. Ooh, another level up. I think we can get Duresto's Defiance for the next part of our play session here. And get this, which gives us extra life. There we go. Boom. And on top of that, more. This gives us 30 life per enemy killed, which is great. And then we're going to get more damage, more elemental damage, more elemental damage. And after we get basically this, I'm going to go all the way over here. I'm going to grab all of these. And once I get that, then we're going to actually start scaling for the extra arrow, I think. And then maybe some more defenses. We'll maybe get that spell suppression. Level up our Ice Golem, talk to all the NPCs. And I'll show you guys the item that I want to get for our next part of our play session. So the item is called Duresto's Defiance. So we're going to pathofexile.com/trade. And we're going to grab one right now at the very end here. So we're going to type in the word Duresto's Defiance. It's the full dragon scale. It should be only like 1 chaos orb. But I want to try to do, if we can find a 5 link one, that'd be great. No one's going to pay this for this. This is not a good item. Alright, so let's go to 4, and maybe it'll be like 1, maybe 5 chaos. No one's going to pay that. Alright, well, let's go to sockets 4. It should be like 1 or 2 chaos. What do I have in this right now? I have 3 greens. Do I need all these? Oh, these are all with the ballista. Okay. Do I need the ballista? It does a little bit of damage, but it's not like super important. Ideally, what I would probably want over anything else is probably, like, I'm just gonna put 1 chaos sword just so it's easier. And I want the one with the most armor. And here we go. It's got pretty good armor. 1 chaos. Maybe we'll have to spend 2 on it, but let's go and whisper him. Let's pick up this item, and it's gonna give us a pretty nice little chunk of some survivability. Let's see if we got any other upgrades here. Ooh, that's a lot of elemental damage. What does this say it gives us for damage? It gives us a little bit more damage, but this gives us 40-something life. I'll keep that. Let's go fire res, 2 to 22 lightning. Get some regen over here. This is strength, but it requires 56 strength. It has no movement speed. What am I even looking at that for? Oh, is this that I was looking at? 121 cold. Accuracy, life, fire res. What do we have? We're overcapped. We need cold resistance. This doesn't even give us resistance. We're going to lose out on some movement speed. I mean, we could probably run this thing for a while, but the Duressos will give us a lot more survivability, so I kind of want one. Okay, that guy's AFK, so I'm going to put in maximum price 2. So we want as much we can get for 2. The highest of this rolls is 90, so I want to roll kind of low on the life, but let's see. What other options we have? 205. 82 life. Like, the extra HP is good too. And then the rest of the stats I don't think really matter. You can mouse over and see what they give you. We'll go ahead and just go for this one. So this one requires us to be 63, so this is 2 Chaos Orbs for this one. Let's go sell items. Let's go pick up this item to round off the little play session here. And this person's name is Demonsky. Okay, let's go teleport towards him. Pick up this item for 2 Chaos Orbs. Oh, there we go. We already had 2. Perfect. And I'll show you guys how much more HP this is going to give us once we can actually use it, because we don't have the strength. So we actually need quite a bit of strength for this, which is okay. Actually, those boots that we sold that had 30 extra strength. So we're going to need to actually get some strength. And that's fine, because we need to gain, let's see, what is it? 115. So how are we going to tackle the strength? And I wanted to get this now, but we can tackle the strength 2 different ways. There's extra strength node over here. You can just type in the word strength also. So there should be another strength node right here, which will give us 20. And we need how much for this? We need 115, so that's quite a bit. So the easiest way to do this, like, I actually use my phone a lot when I play Path of Exile. I use it for the calculator. But let's look at how much strength we need. So we have 51, right? So the easiest way to do it is go 51 minus 115, and we get 64. So we need 64 strength to actually run this. So we have 30 right here, and for another 2 skills we can get it right there. Where else can we get it? We can maybe look at some items as an option, or there's a lot of like these other nodes over here. So realistically, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to pick up this one, and I'm going to pick up this one. And then I'm going to hopefully find an item, like a ring or something, that just says plus 5, or we actually need 4 after we get 60. And then we'd be able to equip that item. Or we can spend a long time, and then eventually after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have to equip 8. After 10 levels, then we can finally equip it. But like I said, I'll probably find an item, and then within the next couple levels, we're going to have access to this. And the reason why I like this item is it has insanely high armor and insanely high evasion rating. We could also, if we happen to have 20 armor scrap, which we do, we can go ahead and throw these on. You can see how much it's going to give us. So our current armor gives us 500, and then we get an additional 1,000. This, but it's on a condition of having maximum HP, full life. And this has no condition, so it's going to be always that amount of evasion rating. So it's pretty much about the same evasion rating, but we have another 1,000 armor, which is awesome. On top of that, we actually get a good chunk of life. And then we have the ability to gain endurance charges, so that's going to be extra resistances, extra physical damage reduction. And when we get hit, we get onslaught, which gives us increased movement speed, and it increases the effect of onslaught by 100%. So if I hold alt, you'll see onslaught gives us 20% increased attack speed, cast speed, movement speed. And we get 100% of that, so that basically means I get double. So that's 40% increased attack speed, cast speed, movement speed. And later, I'm going to have an onslaught potion, so it's going to be up 100% of the time. And I can actually get increased onslaught effect here. And there's another, I think there used to be one on the bottom here. Did they maybe move it? Okay, there used to be another increased onslaught effect over here, but I guess maybe they moved it, or it's maybe deleted out of the game. But I know that this one exists, and getting the evasion armor mastery isn't bad, because there's extra stats that you can get where is it? You get to defend with 120% of armor against projectile. You get increased armor per endurance charge. You get increased evasion, so you can get like extra charges. And we're gonna eventually run what's called mana forged arrows, and we will have 3 frenzy charges at all time. And then every 4 seconds we get to regen life if we want to get that. That could be good. So there's a lot of different stuff that's good. Ideally, I like to have the 40 increased armor if I haven't been hit recently. So that's 40% increased armor. And then also 40% increased evasion rating if you have been hit recently. So after we take that big initial hit, it's going to give us all those endurance charges. And we're going to get all of the bark skin damage reduction. And then we're going to have a high chance to evade. And bark skin's going to be even stronger. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to really benefit off of the new league mechanic, brand new skill, because bark skin is brand new. I want to always play with the newer stuff to kind of give you guys some feedback throughout the entirety of the play session to say, well, was it really worth playing the new stuff? Because sometimes you run a certain brand new thing and it sucks in the very beginning, but it gets better as you progress. I would say Barkskin is actually doing pretty good. I mean, we technically had, at the moment, right now, we have 2 deaths, and I believe both times we're in the brand new like mechanic area where things definitely feel like they were a little bit overtuned. But it's not that big of a deal in terms of like having deaths. A lot of times in the campaign, unless we're doing the new league mechanic, it's literally like 0 deaths. Most of the play sessions, if you've watched me play in the past, it's only the league mechanics that will usually rip on because they're a little bit too strong in the earlier stages. But that's gonna wrap up this act. But we only got 2 more acts, 9 and 10, and then we're at the end game of Quay, which is awesome. Anyways, drop a like and wait. I'll see you guys in part 9, act 9, very soon.